You won't believe what just happened at Royal Rumble 2025. The Women's Royal Rumble match has officially become the most controversial moment in WWE history, and if you're not absolutely furious about what went down, then you weren't paying attention. This wasn't just bad booking, this was a complete slap in the face to every single woman who stepped into that ring, and I'm about to break down exactly why the WWE just made the biggest mistake of the year. Before we get into this absolute disaster, I need to know, who did you think deserved to win the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble? Drop your answer in the comments right now, because I guarantee you, WWE made the wrong choice. Let's talk about what we just witnessed. 30 women entered that ring with dreams of main eventing WrestleMania, and what we got was a finish so predictable, so uninspired, and so disrespectful to the entire women's division that it makes last year's Rumble look like a masterpiece. The moment that final buzzer hit and the winner was announced, the collective groan from the WWE universe could be heard around the world. The match started with so much promise. We had Bayley entering at number 1, showing exactly why she's one of the most resilient competitors in WWE history. The role model came out swinging, and for those first few minutes, you could feel the electricity. Then Naomi entered at number 2, and these two veterans gave us a clinic on how to build momentum in a Royal Rumble match. The energy was there, the crowd was hot, and everything seemed like it was going in the right direction. But here's where things started to fall apart. The spacing between entrants felt completely off. Instead of the traditional 90-second intervals that give each superstar their moment to shine, we had women coming out so quickly that nobody could establish themselves. Wrestlers were being eliminated before the next entrant even hit the ring. It was chaos, but not the good kind, the sloppy, poorly planned kind that makes you wonder if anyone in the back was actually paying attention. Speaking of eliminations, let's talk about the absolute disrespect shown to some of the biggest names in women's wrestling. Asuka, one of the most decorated and dangerous women in WWE history, lasted less than 5 minutes. 5 minutes. This is the Empress of Tomorrow we're talking about, a woman who once had an undefeated streak that lasted over 2 years, and she's treated like a jobber in the Royal Rumble. Somebody explain to me how that makes any sense whatsoever. And don't even get me started on what they did to Bianca Belair, the ist of WWE, a former champion, one of the strongest and most athletic performers on the entire roster, and she's eliminated in the most lackluster way possible. No big spot, no memorable moment, just gone. Bianca deserved better. The fans deserve better. But WWE clearly had other plans, and those plans didn't include giving respect to the women who've been carrying this division for years. Here's a question for you: which elimination made you the angriest? Comment below, because I know I'm not the only one fuming about this. The middle portion of the match gave us a few bright spots, I'll admit that. We got some incredible surprise entrants that genuinely popped the crowd. When Mickie James's music hit, the place went absolutely nuclear. Seeing a legend return and mix it up with the current roster is always special, and Mickie showed she can still go with the best of them. Her elimination of a current roster member was one of the few satisfying moments of the entire night. Then we had the Damage Control drama playing out in real time. Io Sky and Dakota Kai working together, temporarily, before the inevitable betrayal. It's a storyline we've seen a million times, but they executed it well enough. The problem? It didn't matter in the grand scheme of things because WWE was barreling toward a finish that nobody wanted. The Final Four is where this match went from disappointing to absolutely infuriating. We had Rhea Ripley, the most dominant force in women's wrestling right now, looking like an absolute beast as she cleaned house. Mami was throwing women over the top rope like they weighed nothing, and the crowd was behind her 100%. This should have been her moment. This needed to be her moment. But no, WWE had other plans. Plans that involved someone who, quite frankly, hasn't earned this spot. I'm not going to say the winner doesn't have talent, that's not the point. The point is there were at least 10 other women in that match who deserved it more, who have worked harder, who have connected with the audience on a deeper level, and who would have made this year's WrestleMania season infinitely more interesting. The final two came down to 2 competitors, and the crowd was split. You could feel the tension in the arena. This was the moment where WWE could have done something special, something memorable, something that would have set the tone for the rest of the year. And what did they do? They went with the safe choice, the boring choice, the choice that makes absolutely zero sense from a storytelling perspective. Quick question: on a scale of 1 to 10, how predictable was this finish? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about the actual finish itself, because it was botched. The winner was supposed to eliminate the runner-up with a decisive, clean move that would make them look strong going into WrestleMania. Instead, we got a finish that looked sloppy, poorly timed, and had referees scrambling to make sure they got the call right. Social media immediately exploded with people posting side-by-side replays questioning whether the right person was even declared the winner. That's not how you want your second biggest show of the year to end. And the aftermath? The celebration felt forced. The winner stood in the ring, pointing at the WrestleMania sign, but the crowd wasn't having it. Boos rained down from sections of the arena, and you could see the confusion on the winner's face. This should have been a triumphant moment, but instead, it fell completely flat because WWE chose to ignore what the fans actually wanted. This brings me to the bigger problem with modern WWE booking. They've forgotten how to read the room. The Women's Royal Rumble should be about creating a WrestleMania moment that fans will remember forever. Instead, we get corporate decisions that feel like they were made in a boardroom rather than a creative meeting. This wasn't about storytelling. This wasn't about giving fans what they wanted. This was about pushing whoever WWE has decided is their next chosen one, regardless of whether it makes sense or not. The women who worked this match deserved better. Rhea Ripley deserved better. Bianca Belair deserved better. Asuka deserved better. The WWE Universe deserved better. But most importantly, the winner deserved better than being put in a position where the fans are going to resent them for something that wasn't their fault. That's what bad booking does, it hurts everyone involved. Here's my final question for you before we wrap this up. What would your WrestleMania main event be after this Royal Rumble? Who should the winner face? Comment your fantasy booking below because it's guaranteed to be better than what WWE actually has planned. Looking at the broader picture, this Royal Rumble represents everything that's wrong with how WWE handles their women's division. They talk a big game about the women's revolution and women's wrestling being equal to the men, but then they book finishes like this that prove they still don't really get it. They don't understand that fans are invested in these characters and these stories, and when you ignore that investment, you create resentment. The road to WrestleMania just got a whole lot less interesting because of the decision made at Royal Rumble 2025. Instead of having a winner that everyone is excited to see challenge for the championship, we have a winner that half the audience is already rejecting. That's not how you build momentum for your biggest show of the year. And let's be real about the championship picture. Whether the winner chooses to challenge for the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship, does anyone actually believe this is the match that's going to main event WrestleMania? Because I don't. This feels like a match that's going to get lost in the shuffle while WWE focuses on whatever part-timer returns or whatever men's match they've decided is more important. The 2025 Women's Royal Rumble had everything it needed to be great. It had talented performers, it had a hot crowd, it had surprise entrants, and it had multiple credible winners who could have carried this moment all the way to WrestleMania. But WWE dropped the ball. They made the wrong choice, they executed it poorly, and now they are going to have to deal with the backlash from a fanbase that's tired of being told what they should want instead of being given what they actually want. So let me ask you one more time, who should have won the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble? Drop your answer in the comments, hit that like button if you agree that WWE completely botched this, and share this video with every wrestling fan you know who's just as frustrated as we are. Subscribe to Wrestling Zone 1 for more brutally honest wrestling coverage, because someone needs to hold WWE accountable for decisions like this. The Royal Rumble is supposed to be about creating dreams and launching superstars toward the main event of WrestleMania. The 2025 Women's Royal Rumble didn't do that. It killed momentum, frustrated fans, and proved that WWE still has a long way to go before they truly understand how to book their women's division properly. This wasn't just a bad finish, it was a missed opportunity that we're going to be talking about as one of the worst booking decisions of the decade. And that's not hyperbole, that's just facts.